Hi, Adam. Good morning. Those are diapers. Did you sleep good?
Yeah.
You did. You ready to get dressed?
Yeah. Ready?
Ready to get up?
Yeah.
Sissies are at school already.
Huh?
Oh. let's go. Hey guys, good morning.
Hi.
Hi, good morning. Yes, I did not straighten my hair last night. I slept with it wet and it kind of turned into a curly mess, so I just threw it right back up in a clip. I'm not going to worry about it too much because at this point I really don't care. I had a really long night. I didn't finish out the vlog. I think the last thing I actually vlogged about was Emmy swimming. Hi, Mama. Hi. Hi. You want some eggs?
Yeah.
Okay. Mommy make you some eggs, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I just had a really long night. We had just a long night. So anyway, I was so done with the day. I went to bed early and I was so tired. I just couldn't do it. And I was up very early this morning. I think my alarm was set for 7 because we usually don't have to leave the house until... What, Mama? I'm making it right now, okay? You want some fruit to snack on?
Yeah.
Yes, please. And some strawberries?
Yeah.
Yes, please, Mommy.
Mommy.
Let's see. Get her some strawberries so she can have something to do while I'm cooking some eggs. But she, no, not she. My alarm typically is set for 7, even though I'm usually up before 7. I mean, I probably should start setting it for 6:45. But anyway, it's set for 7. This morning I was up at 6, helping, you're welcome, helping Emmy finish up some last minute stuff for school. She didn't have a very productive homework night yesterday, and well, it was mostly my fault. I should have double checked everything, and I didn't until right before bed, and some of her math homework was not correct, and instead of having her fix it last night, we decided to do it this morning because I was just done with the day yesterday. I was so tired, and I should have had her do it last night, but I didn't. So that was totally my fault, and I think that's another reason why today, like this morning, I woke up early because it was just kind of on my mind the entire night. Like, dang it, I should have had her do it. I should have had her do it. And I didn't. And so it just kind of kept me up because I didn't go to bed till right after 12, like 12:05. And I was up at 6. So Mama needs her coffee this morning. It's hard. Like, I know it's hard for the kids to get back into a routine, but it's also hard for parents to get back in a routine. It's like you can't wait for the day when your kids start school because you're like, yes, a little bit of freedom. They have something to do. I don't have to hear them fight and whine and cry that they're bored and all these things. But then at the same time, like, you have to get yourself back into a routine too. Going to bed earlier, waking up earlier, doing homework, checking backpacks. And I mean, you think it's already going on the 2nd week of school. You think I'd be used to it already, but clearly I'm struggling with that one. And I think too it's a lot because she's at the new school and they do things totally different than how her old school did it. So I think that has a lot to do with my habits as well, and I need to break them. So yeah, that's what's happened to me this morning. I am wearing that block colored t-shirt that I got from Zaful that I put in my try-on haul with some shorts. I'm gonna make breakfast. Andres was nice enough to take the girls this morning, which worked out great because Autumn isn't really feeling that great. She's just had like allergies or something, so she's been sneezing. Luckily she hasn't let it affect her mood too much, but because she's been sneezing and stuff, I don't think she really got great sleep last night either. And she sounds a little stuffy this morning, so luckily she turns 2 on Saturday, so lots of things will change when she turns 2. She can take allergy medicine, take vitamins at night. She can sit forward facing in the car. So many things change for her when she turns 2 on Saturday. So we're excited about that. But yeah, it is 7:52 and I'm actually going over to a friend's house to help her with something. And I've been over before during cookie season. Priscilla, I actually met her on YouTube, funny enough, and she doesn't live that far away from me, so we're gonna go hang out over there for a little while. But first, some breakfast and coffee. Okay, I just left. We had so much fun. We were talking about so many different things and I was helping her, and it was a great day until the tail end of our conversation. Now granted, I was there for like 4.5 hours, but I had just changed Autumn's diaper right before we left. The tail end of our conversation, guess what Miss Autumn did? All of a sudden we're like, what's that noise? Autumn's peeing on her dining room chair. I was like, oh my god, what the heck? I've never had that happen before, ever. Autumn's never peed through her diaper, ever. I mean, I take that back. In her swim diaper she has outside of the pool, but swim diapers don't really hold anything, so that's not a good representation of her peeing outside her diaper. I was like, oh my god, she's just sitting there on her chair peeing away, and it's the noise that we heard was the trinkling of her pee falling on the floor. Mortified. Hashtag mortified. But no, really, I mean, it was fine. It wasn't, she was totally cool about it. She was like, not a big deal. Sorry, Priscilla, if you're watching. You can tell Jojo Autumn peed on his chair. It's awful. That's awful. Definitely one for the memory books, I suppose. It's hard enough dealing with trying to do something and her running around, and then I have to worry about her peeing all over the place. Lord. And I really don't even know what happened. I mean, her diaper had pee in it, but it wasn't so full to the point where I felt like it should have been leaking out, but clearly it was. I feel like her diaper's been more full in the past before, but I guess not. So lesson learned, don't chit chat for almost 5 hours without checking your kid's diaper. Lesson learned for sure. Super embarrassing, but we got what we sought out to do accomplished, which hopefully it's beneficial for them. And yeah, now we are headed home. Autumn's in desperate need of a nap. She doesn't tolerate not having a nap very well, so I knew it was our time to go, and it was just like perfect timing. Pee on the floor, time to go. So we're headed home. We're going to grab some lunch when we get home, and then I'm going to put her down for a nap. I have to go pick up Emmy and Maddie a little bit earlier today because I have Emmy's curriculum night tonight, so we get to meet with the teacher, and I need to go pick them up from school and drop them off at my mom's house because Andres works till later tonight. I need to go have time to pick them up and drop them off and then go back for curriculum night. So I'm probably going to have to pick them up maybe by 4:30. So I'll probably put Autumn down for a nap, and then as soon as she wakes up, leave to go get them all, like I have 40 of them. And then that way I have plenty of time to get back to Emmy's school. So yeah, that's how my day has been. How about yours? Autumn's been asleep like 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2.5 hours. And I think I'm gonna have to wake her up. I really need to get going. Are you awake?
Yeah.
Good morning.
How about me?
Hi, Autumn. Did you just say I'm awake?
Mommy.
Minnie, I see her. Did you sleep good?
Yeah.
We gotta get you a new outfit. You peed in your last one, huh?
So.
I'm so glad you're awake. Mommy didn't have to wake you up. We gotta go get Sissy's. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. Luckily, Andres was able to meet me there. He surprised me. He had texted me when I was on my way, and he's like, did you drop off the girls at your mom's? I said, yeah, I'm headed to curriculum night. And he was like, oh, okay, you know, be careful. I'll see you when you get home. And then I pull up and he was in the parking lot. So that was great because he doesn't always get to attend things like this. You know, he didn't when we were at our old school, and so it's great to have him by my side. And also it's good to know so that if he's at home, I'm working, and he's having to do homework or whatever with her, he knows what's going on. Because, I mean, let's face it, they do things completely different at this school. It's actually very overwhelming, like I was mentioning, I think this morning, very overwhelming for me. And so I can imagine it's overwhelming for Emmy. She doesn't express that though. She's very good about just kind of going with the flow, and she's a very adaptive child, but it's overwhelming the way that they learn things. And so I know it's going to be overwhelming for him, you know. I mean, he didn't even go to school here in the States, and so sometimes I'll say stuff, or we'll talk about how we learn things growing up, and his are completely different than mine, you know. So that's one thing, to even learn these things 22 decades ago for me, and for him it was 3 decades ago, and on top of that he went to school in Mexico. So I know it's overwhelming. So it's nice that he was able to be here and he could hear all about the school and all about how they run things and all of that. And you know, the teacher was telling me that Emmy's fitting in really nicely, that she's so amazingly smart, which is crazy to me that a teacher can just read a child. I mean, she's been with her for 8 days, literally 8 days, or today was day 9, and she's like, I can tell she is so over the top smart, but she has a really hard time waiting her turn to speak, raising her hand, not blurting out the answer. And she struggled with that since pre-K. I just think she has such a vivacious and boisterous personality that it's so hard for her to contain herself, honestly. And I have a feeling it's going to be another year where we have to just work on controlling ourselves a little bit more, and that's okay for right now. You know, I'll take it. She's not struggling with the curriculum, even though I think it's overwhelming. She seems to be doing okay considering. And you know, the teacher was running through their day, and oh my gosh, the things that they learn, I'm just like amazed. I never remember learning that kind of stuff, and especially in the 3rd grade. It's definitely going to take a lot more effort on my part to make sure she's holding up her end of her student-teacher relationship. So I'm just going to have to get myself in a better routine, is really what it boils down to. A better routine. And I think I was talking about this earlier, which is like something that I was struggling with yesterday, which is another reason why I just kind of had a stressful night, and I didn't vlog it because it was stressful and overwhelming. And so I need to just kind of sit down, I think, and reevaluate how we're doing evenings and the amount of homework that she actually has and all of that good stuff. So we'll get it. I think I knew it was going to be an adjustment, not just for her, but for me too, and for us as a family. And so we'll get there. It'll just take some time. But today definitely opened my eyes up to a lot more of how they do things, and it made me feel good to attend this. And I don't feel so in the dark now. And her teacher is very intelligent, and she seems very intuitive to what the children need and want and how they're going to learn. And so that makes me feel good about the school year. So hopefully it goes well. And if that's the case and we like it and it does go well, then this is something that I think we'd be open to Maddie coming to next year. So that was that. It is almost 8 p.m. I'm headed to my mom's to get the girls. What do you say? Good night, see you tomorrow. That was gangster. Boo. All right, Mama. Night night. I love you.
I love you.
Mwah. Adam.
Hey, I love you.
Mwah.
Yeah.
Man. Adam. I love you. Oh. Night night, Mama.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
Good night, see you tomorrow. And Adam. Good night, see you tomorrow.
Boop. Even though you guys haven't seen a whole lot today, it has been a long day for me. Long. I feel like I've just literally bounced from one thing to the next. But that's okay, it was good. I mean, it was a good day all around. I got to have some adult time, even though I had Autumn with me. I actually got to talk with another adult, which is nice. And then my Hinabitty surprised me by going with me to the school. And the girls had fun at my mom's house. Nin sent me home with some delicious tilapia and some like fried green beans or something. It was really good. with tartar sauce. Really good and not too bad for you. But I have some questions for you guys. So at the beginning of every school year, we always do incentive charts, and I really have never done an incentive chart for Maddie because her concept of time, like I can't tell her you're doing something next month. She doesn't understand that. Like if I mention Christmas to her, that's a really good thing, or her birthday. Her birthday's not till October. So if I mention her birthday or Christmas, she doesn't understand that it's months away. Even though she knows there are 12 months in a year, she can name them off. She knows every day is a different date. She doesn't grasp time yet. You know, she doesn't understand next week and next month, that type of stuff. So I've never really done an incentive chart with her, but we started them with Emmy in kindergarten. You know, come to think of it, I didn't do an incentive chart with her in pre-K either, so I think we're right on track. But we kind of have start them, and then we'll do like a couple throughout the year. And I usually do them for, like when she was younger, I did them for a school week at a time, so like for 5 days. Now we do them for a month. She's in 3rd grade, so we just talked about September's. She didn't get one for August because we don't do it during the summer. Not that I don't want to say I don't encourage or discourage good behavior, but we automatically do fun things in the summer. Summer is more of a time of just like, of course I want you to be well-mannered and well-behaved and respectful, but things tend to go by the wayside a little more during the summertime. Things are a little more free around here during summer. We still live with structure, but not nearly as much structure during the summer, which is how it should be in my opinion, as during the school year. So during the school year, our incentive charts are various things. Right now she's on the swim team. If I notice her schoolwork is lacking, or her attitude is lacking, or whatever, she gets in trouble at school consistently, or I notice her too overly tired or whatever, the first thing to go is extracurriculars. Now again, I'm not trying to like talk about this to make anybody mad or anything like that. Like this is just how we do it. It doesn't have to be how it's done in your house, and that's totally fine. Like everyone can do whatever they want, however they want it. It doesn't bother me at all to do it a different way. This is just how we do it. So extracurriculars are the first to go if we have bad attitudes, bad behavior, bad grades, any of the above. First thing to go. So let's say she was not excelling in school and, you know, falling asleep when she got home, not getting enough sleep, not paying attention in school, coming home with bad remarks from the teacher, whatever, extracurriculars would be the first to go. Now we always reevaluate these as time goes on. So since she's in swim club right now, something that she's wanting to do, the school has a running team. You can come in, baby. I'm just talking. The school has a running team that she wants to be on. She wanted to do it from the first parent orientation night. Well, at the time I told her she's already in Girl Scouts. I was only going to do one extra thing, running club or swim team. And at that time she picked swim team. Now she kind of wants to try running club versus swim team, which is fine. I don't mind switching, but we missed the registration for this quarter of the running team. So I told her we could reevaluate it next quarter. So something that I told her, if she wanted to try and do both, or she wanted to have some sort of other incentive, we would do an incentive chart. And as long as she had good behavior, I think there are 35 days on the chart because it includes the remainder of August and all of September. If she had 2/3 of it, so at least 20 stars, good, meaning she had good behavior, she did a kind act or whatever, she would get whatever incentive she picked. So her incentive was running club, which is perfect because I think registration opens up at the beginning of October for the next quarter of running club. So that's a good incentive for her. And then we'll reevaluate another incentive to promote, not that I'm very much of the belief that if you know the rules, you know what I expect, you should act right, but they're children and they don't always follow rules. Adults don't always follow rules. So having such high expectations, I feel like just leads to okay, let me rephrase that. Having consistent high expectations and never praising for good behavior leads to bad, beaten down kids that don't, they're like, well, if I'm good and I don't get anything, not that I always feel like you should be praised for doing something that you're supposed to be doing, but every once in a while it's nice to get a little something. Like if I'm good in school, I'm going to get this. And you can do it on a weekly basis. You could have like smaller ones where let's say you get, out of a 5-day school week, you get 4 stars. Maybe you get on Friday an extra little treat in your lunch. I was actually thinking about doing that one, a little treat in your lunch, and then that's on a weekly basis. And then on a monthly basis you get a bigger one, you know, because running club costs money and I have to buy a whole new uniform and everything, and we have to go there and all that stuff. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We did an incentive chart, but I was considering, one thing we do not do in this household is allowance. And I think that's mostly because I didn't get an allowance growing up, for mainly the reason that my mom couldn't afford it. She gave us what we needed and she tried to provide some of the things that we wanted, and my mom was a single parent for a long time and she busted her butt. I have such high appreciation for her. I mean, just an immense appreciation for her, especially now being a mom and seeing how difficult it is. I commend her so much for everything that she did for us, and she's just an amazing mom. I mean, she's an amazing mom as an adult, and even though I didn't appreciate her as much back then as I should have, I so appreciate everything she did for us now. Seeing how hard it is to raise children, she did a great job. So anyway, she couldn't afford to give us an allowance. Times were a little different back then too, but she couldn't afford it, and so we did chores that we were expected to do around the house because it was just us in the house, and that was all there was. My mom worked 2 jobs forever, and so I mean, that's just how we were raised. Like I said, she provided what we needed and tried to provide as much of what we wanted. We always had what we needed though, and that was the most important thing. And so I never felt like I went without completely, but I had never really had extra. And that's, I think, a big reason why I started working when I was 16. My first job was Sonic, if you don't know that. Sonic Drive-In. It was a car hop and it was great. I loved it. I actually made really good money. I bought my own first car. I had a 2000 red Mustang. I paid my cell phone bill. I paid my insurance. I paid for my gas. I was a very responsible young woman. I still am very responsible, but I was. I put myself through college, and I knew I had to do that if I wanted to excel in life. And my mom was cheering me on and helped me with whatever I needed every step of the way. And I'm hoping, although our financial situation is different and we would be able to provide more financial assistance, I'm hoping that we are instilling the drive into the girls of what I had, you know, that you want to do it for yourself and you want to be a go-getter and be a hard worker and provide things for yourself without just mommy and daddy handing it to you. Not that that's to say that there's anything wrong with that. I just hope, I feel like the way that my mom raised us and our financial situation really molded me into the responsible adult that I am now. And so I hope that that's portrayed to the girls. But that being said, with the allowance thing, I was really considering, for a long time I always thought, I don't think we'll do allowance with the girls. Like, we talked about it before and we kind of were of that agreement, like, I don't know that we should do an allowance because they literally want and need for nothing. Maybe they have some wants that they don't get, but they're in extracurriculars galore. They have clothes and shoes. They have all kinds of stuff that we didn't have growing up. And so I almost feel like, why do they need an allowance? But then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, maybe this will teach even more responsibility. So I'm curious how you guys do it. Now, no judgment for anybody that automatically does allowance. Maybe you don't have any expectations for that allowance. You give them $5 or $10 or $20 every week, and that's that. I was thinking somewhere between $5 and $10 a week just for Emmy. I don't feel like Maddie's old enough really yet I don't know. Then what do you do with your younger ones? Do you just cut the money down? And then if that's the case, we do start an allowance. If I start Emmy off at her age, maybe we do her age 9. So when she turns 9, then do Maddie $5 and then Autumn $2. Like, is that how you do it? Do you incorporate chores with it? Like, do you have a set amount of chores? Because we've always been under the assumption with the girls that we work together as a team. We each have our own duties. When we're cleaning as a family, we all clean. Nobody gets paid for it. I don't get paid to clean the house, and I'm cleaning up after them. They don't get paid to clean the house, type thing. But is there extra that we could do? You know, like, we clean certain things as a family, but then if you want to like earn your allowance, do you have certain chores? Do you use good behavior as part of the, you know, consequence of not getting your part of your allowance? You know, if you're bad, do you lose $1? I don't know a thing about allowance, because like I said, I didn't get one. So, and honestly, I don't really remember my friends having a lot surrounding their allowance. Like, those that received it, I feel like they were just given it. So I'm just curious, like, what people do nowadays. If you have children of any age, I would love to know how you guys handle allowance. I kind of, not necessarily that I plan on taking exactly how somebody else does it, but if I can read kind of how other people do it, and I plan on doing my own research as well, maybe just get some tips and tricks, and then I can finagle it to make it work for our family. Because Andres and I were talking about it yesterday at the gym, and was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday at the gym, and I told him, I was like, maybe it would just be a good thing if we do start a little allowance and show them some responsibility. And also, not only that, but the value of $1. The girls have got money from other people before, and we've gone to the store, and I think I showed it once when we were in Walmart and they were trying to pick a snack, and they're like, what? This is more than $1? This is more than $1? You know, like, so they're trying to learn the value of $1. And I think it would be good for them to go look at the toy section and be like, I really want that toy. It's $50. If you're getting $9 a week, you know, how many weeks is that going to take you to save up to get it? But if you don't do this, you're not going to get all of your allowance or whatever. I don't know. I'm just kind of curious how other people do it. I really don't think any of my friends give their kids allowances, now that I think about it. I'm going to have to ask the girls, the moms in Girl Scouts, because some of them have older girls. So I'm curious. I feel like sometimes people associate allowance with like older, you know, instead of your teenager being like, Mom, can I have a $20 bill for the mall or whatever. I feel like people associate that more with older kids, but I'm curious. It's not necessarily something that I'm 100% planning on doing, but I think we'll talk about it a little bit more and get a better idea of what I think would work for us. And I think it would be a great incentive to continue good behavior, to continue keeping up daily chores, and like even basic things like cleaning your room before school, making sure your clothes are washed at the end of the week, like things that I know that they're capable of, that if they do, making a chore chart. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you have kiddos that you give allowance to, how much do they get? Let me know their ages, how much they get, what you either make them do, or your expectations to gain the allowance. Do you have consequences associated with the allowance if they have bad behavior? Let me know how you guys do it. I'm really, really curious. So anyway, I've been blabbing for 15 minutes. I'm going to bed. This vlog went from literally like 10 minutes to almost 30. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today, seeing me and all me. I will see you guys tomorrow morning bright and early.